Hi everyone, Pam Gregory, astrologer. I'm going to be speaking to you today about the first half of July and in particular the full moon that we have coming up in Capricorn on the 1st and 2nd. Now this is happening at 9 degrees 55 minutes of Capricorn. It's happening at 7:19 p.m. Pacific on the 1st and 3:19 a.m. UK time on the 2nd of July. And people who are likely to feel this most are anyone who has a planet or an angle at around 10 degrees of the cardinal signs. That's Aries, Cancer, Libra or Capricorn. Or if you were born in any year, the last couple of days of March up to the 2nd of April, last couple of days of June up to the 3rd of July, 1st to the 5th of October, or the 29th of December through to the 2nd of January, you'll be likely to feel this. Now, at a full moon, the sun and moon are opposite each other. It's a cycle of culmination, a cycle of completion. So we have the sun in Cancer opposing the moon, which is conjunct Pluto, in Capricorn. So the sun in Cancer, it's a very nurturing energy. It's caring. It's a very protective energy, sympathetic. But because Mars is also conjunct the sun, this brings in a fierce protectiveness. It's a vigorous energy to protect those you care about and those you love. It also gives us emotional courage as well. So it's going to be an interesting time at this full moon. Because the moon in Capricorn is a very different quality. It's extremely practical, methodical, efficient, organised. It's often said of Capricorn energy that you could organise an army with it. But the fact it's also conjunct Pluto gives even greater focus to whatever you want to achieve. It's very good for goal setting and finding the most efficient way to get there. But the Pluto conjunct the moon can add a real intensity to the feeling. It becomes really urgent that you achieve this thing, wherever it falls in your chart. It also means that feelings could be running pretty high around that time. In addition, Mars is widely opposing Pluto, so that adds even more energy, focus and willpower to whatever you're trying to achieve. It becomes quite competitive. You've almost got to win at all costs. It almost becomes a survival issue that you win. So very, very strong yang energy at the full moon about achievement and about practicality and organisation. So it's a really, really good time to set your intentions about what you want to achieve and get done at that time. Particularly if it's something you might have been working on for a while and it's now coming to its completion because it's a full moon. But we also have a very different quality of energy at this full moon because Neptune, as we know, is in Pisces. It's recently gone retrograde. And Neptune in Pisces is about intuition. It's about our inner guidance. It's about consciousness, wisdom, healing, miracles. It's a wonderful yin energy. And at this full moon, it positively aspects both the sun and the moon. It trines the sun and it sextiles the moon. So it brings in this wonderful quality of whatever we're trying to achieve in a very practical way. With the Capricorn energy, it's important that we almost have a sense of spiritual service about it because Neptune connects us to the oneness of all life. Also, for the first 10 days of July, we have Jupiter conjunct Venus in Leo. And this is big-heartedness. This is generosity and opening the heart chakra. This combination in Leo loves to play, it loves to have fun, and loves to party. So it's extremely creative, it loves beauty and colour, and there's a real flair to any creativity you might express. But also the fact that we have Neptune in Pisces gives a kind of almost divine inspiration to anything that we might be doing creatively. It really connects it to the ethereal or the divine. So there's some wonderful, rich, creative energy coming up in this first half of July too. On the 6th of July, the Sun opposes Pluto. And it also, on that day, squares 14 degrees of Libra, 14 degrees of the cardinals, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. So it is picking up the degree that we had in that big lunar eclipse on the 4th of April earlier this year. So whatever was happening for you round about the 4th of April, that issue may well be revisited, particularly if it's about change, on the 6th of July. So Sun opposes Pluto and picks up that same lunar eclipse degree. Then on the 12th of July, the Sun squares Uranus. So in a sense, the Sun is shining a light, highlighting this now separating Uranus-Pluto square. But if you have any planet or angle between 12 degrees and 22 degrees of those cardinal signs which I've mentioned, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you may well feel a need for change. Now, the need for change you may feel coming from you, from the inside, a restlessness to change, or you may feel that it suddenly comes to you from the outside, out of the blue. It's a Uranus expression. So it may happen very suddenly. It's almost like a rug pull, and that change happens in order to move you forwards. So still a powerful time of change happening as well in that first half of July. Saturn is retrograde. It's just retrograded recently back to the last couple of degrees of Scorpio. And whenever a planet goes retrograde, it's about going inwards. And Scorpio is about intense, deep energy. It's often about things we've repressed, things that are long buried, things we've shoved down and didn't want to deal with. And I often think of this Saturn-Scorpio combination as a long dark staircase into an old fusty basement, and there's been no fresh air in there for some time, and there's a rusty trapdoor over it. But now is the time to open that trapdoor and really get some fresh air and some fresh energy in there and release the past. And because Pluto is also retrograde in Capricorn, Pluto is demanding that we turn inwards too. And Pluto and Capricorn are in each other's signs. This is almost like a conjunction. Both of them are really raising issues of sexuality, power, lack of power, control, or manipulation. Those are the kinds of issues that we may have buried that now need to be released in order for us to get on our path of authenticity, that's Saturn, to take back our power, that's Pluto. And the fact that Neptune is also retrograde in Pisces means that we can deepen our spiritual practice, which will help us to access that deeply buried emotion and release it to move forwards. And I think a lot of people have been writing to me. A lot of people are feeling this very strongly at the moment. So we have a really interesting mix of energy in this first half of July. We have the strong yang, practical, achieving energy of Capricorn. We've got the yin, ethereal energy of Neptune connecting to the sun and the moon. We have the creativity and the big-heartedness of Jupiter conjunct Venus in Leo. And we have the depth work, our inner digging deep work, going deeply inside ourselves, deepening our meditation, deepening our spiritual practice so we can come back up to the light and get very clearly on our path. So if you don't know where these degree areas fall in your chart, or 10 degrees of Capricorn, where that falls in your chart, just check out the link that is appearing above me here, or check out that same link in the description below. If you click on it, that'll take you directly to my store, and you can buy a 2-part video series which explains really simply and clearly, even if you don't know much about astrology, how to find these degree points in your chart and what that means for you in your life. So it gives much more meaning to what I'm saying here. And if you'd like more information about my book or my free monthly newsletter, I put out about a 2,000 to 3,000 word newsletter at the end of each month, just check out my website, pamgregory.com, or www.thenextstep.uk.com. And thanks for listening.